Welcome, everyone. I'm Monal, uh, and welcome to our webinar on mastering marketing and accounting. We'll give ourselves a few minutes. Some of our participants are still joining in. I'm seeing about 50 people right now. Uh, I'm delighted to have every one of you on board for this wonderful session on a Friday afternoon, particularly our accounting community from across the UK. Give us a minute or two, and we should soon get started. Okay, since I can see a few more folks joining in, please bear with us for 2 minutes. Okay, let's get started. For all of you who joined in a little late, I am Monil Hathi and I head up the global marketing at BeFree. Welcome to a webinar on mastering marketing and accounting. All right, I'm delighted to have each one of you on board for joining us today on a Friday afternoon, particularly our accounting community from across the UK. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to delve deeply into the realm of marketing in the context of accounting. Now, let me introduce you to our distinguished speakers who will be guiding us throughout the discussion today. First up, we have Atul Upadhyay, my colleague and Director of Strategy and Sales in the UK. He's an expert in the field of accounting and has been working with clients in the UK for over 15 years now. His insights have helped numerous firms to strategize their accounting operations. And joining him is Mr. Sean Berhate, a seasoned professional in marketing, and he's been engaged with the accounting community in the UK for over 20 years now. And he's well equipped to provide invaluable perspectives on strategies in marketing and accounting for the unique needs of accountants like you. Finally, before we dive in, one quick thing: there's a little surprise towards the end of the presentation, being the weekend. I would hope you can stick around towards the end. We have a surprise gift for all of you, especially those who qualify for that gift. So stay tuned for that excitement announcement. Together, we'll be sharing our experiences and engaging in a thought-provoking dialogue. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, Atul, what do you think? I know I targeted you, but first, but I thought, why do you think, most of accountants really struggle with marketing? I've really seen some accountants are really brilliant on what they do when it comes to marketing, but those are, I would say, outliers than the norm. But would want your kind of understanding on, and because you've been dealing with clients in the UK and globally as well. So
Sure.
over to you, Atul.
Perfect. Thanks, Monil. Thanks for having me, and good day to all the fantastic, attendees from accounting community who've joined this special, webinar on mastering the art of marketing in accounting specifically. Well, you know, that's a very good question, Monil, that you brought in, right? Why most accountants struggle with marketing? Well, that's not the truth with all the accountants because I have a lot of my accountant friends, business friends, who are doing excellent with their marketing initiatives that they've taken for the practice for the growth and expansion. But I've listed down some primary reasons here, which in fact will make things a little clearer. Right. To begin with, the first point is high rational thinking. Well, we all know accountants are perfectionists. They'd like to be perfect in everything that they do, balancing everything because they have to balance the P&L, they have to balance the balance sheet and whatnot. But it's good for accounting. It's good when they are servicing clients and they're perfect with the kind of approach they have, because at the end of the day they are dealing with the finance and accounts of the clients, right? It's very critical task. Not everyone can do it. However, this rational thinking becomes like a roadblock in the marketing element overall, because they think the same perfection will also come in marketing. But we need to understand this, that marketing is not a 1 day, 2 day, or month activity, right? It's basically an ongoing activity, which actually involves a lot of time and strategic approach investment. So you need to go a little easy, open up a bit. Flexibility is something that you need to adapt to. I have a lot of my business friends, again, from the accounting community, who started their journey in the marketing, but they're doing increasingly well, and the way they are evolving as a practice. Few of them are also the participants of this, the webinar session. Now, that's first reason that I feel, it's a high rational thinking. Second is, no time for marketing. Of course, this is obvious because, HMRC, the ever-changing rules and regulations, meeting the deadlines, adhering to, the protocols, serving client better. Now, because accounting is no longer the accounting that it used to be over a decade or so ago, it's rapidly changing its dimension. It's more of an advisory business now. Accountants, they need to be in front of their clients always, right? So that involves a lot of time, investment from accountant side. So often they don't find, time for marketing because they're doing a Superman's job. I like Superman. He's my favorite superhero, and hence I'm giving, that example here, there. But we need to understand, there is a limit, and even Superman has bandwidth issues. So that's primarily one of the reasons why, they have no time for marketing. Third reason is years of number crunching. Well, it's again a very, very critical element that they deal with. But this years of number crunching is something that they get so used to that it becomes like their comfort zone, and they don't want to do anything except the number crunching work, because that is what the accounting as function is primarily, right? So years of number crunching. So marketing is something that takes the bottommost place in the value chain when in case you ask them to scale up, between what is the most important element for them for the growth of practice. And of course, because they're doing years of number crunching, they tend to get very satisfied in their own small cocoon of becoming, hey, I'm okay with my current setup. I have those 2-3 referrals coming in a month. And I guess that's suiting my bandwidth. So, I'm all right. I don't want to grow aggressively. These are some common points which I feel, is a struggle point of marketing activity, why accountants basically struggle. Now, I'd also like my fellow colleague and my dear friend Sean to share, few points here with us as well as to why he feels, accountants struggle with marketing. Sean, over to you.
Thank you, Atul. Thank you, Monil, for having me on this panel. Good afternoon, everyone. Rightly said, Atul, marketing, it's a word that gets thrown out around a lot. But for many accountants, it can feel like a bit of mystery. No doubt, accountants are an experts when it comes to the numbers and the financial regulations. But when it really comes to marketing your own practice, it's whole a different ball game together. And the truth is, you're not alone, right? Many accountants struggle with marketing because it's not something they're trained for, or they do not have an experience of how faster that they can grow their business, having a high maintained standard and excellent service quality at the same time. I see a kind of an understanding gap that comes across at the initial level when it comes to see that, how they can actually get onto the marketing activities. Another thing that we can pick up here is could be creativity, as we all agree to it, that creativity, it's a specialized skill set that requires a different way of thinking and approaching business development. But honestly, marketing doesn't have to be complicated or intimidating. It At its core, marketing is all about communicating the right values of your services. It's finding the ways to connect with the meaningful ways with your audience, right? I think that is all about marketing. Let's say you connect, or you create, or you invest in creating an informative content for your website or social media platforms, right? The content not only educates your existing clients or customers, but it also attracts new prospects that comes across and might be searching for the similar level of answers or similar kind of answers from you as well. So that helps. If you look at the most frequently asked or said statement, it doesn't work for me. I have heard a lot of accountants saying that, it doesn't work for me, or saying that, it is not going to work for me at all. But firstly, I understand where the sentiments come from, right? As an accountant, your focus is on numbers, regulations, providing excellent services to your clients, no doubt in it. The idea of marketing seems to be daunting task or even irrelevant to your practice at times, right? One possible reason that you may think of or ask yourself is, are your marketing efforts been properly aligned with your business goals and the target audience? Or is your marketing efforts been given enough time and consistency to look into the results? Because it needs patience, to be honest, right? Or it could be the factors like, you have lack of resources, lack of knowledge, or experience in the marketing and the principal strategies that needs to be aligned with the marketing game, right? Marketing isn't a quick fix, guys, to be honest. It is a long-term investment in the growth of the success of your practice. It requires patience, persistence, and willingness to adapt and redo based on the feedbacks and the results that you actually get across by doing these activities by yourself, right? It really needs an effective marketing to requires have a clear understanding, strategic approach to your ideal customers and execute it in a right marketing plan way, right? So Atul, wanted to hear from you. What brings on an accounting side when you think of getting a change in the mindset, how to begin and how to get that across?
Sure, Sean, and very powerful, points that you brought up. Indeed, as you mentioned, it's not a one-day activity; it's an ongoing thing, right? Which people often don't realize. So the one thing that, according to me, should change with accountants with regards to marketing is the mindset. So because as I touched upon in my earlier point that accountancy basically, it's they are two rational thinkers, right? They look for perfection in everything that they do, but they need to understand marketing is altogether a different ballgame. Look, we are not here making people sensitive towards marketing, but yes, this is an attempt to make people more conscious, especially our accountant folks, more conscious towards marketing overall, basically. So the one thing that needs the change is the mindset. As mentioned, you need to loosen up a bit. You need to go a little creative. You need to go a little crazy. It's okay. Sometimes, you will end up making some mistakes, but then you learn from that mistakes. What is working for you? What is not working for you? I will quote, one of the quotes that I've really liked, that I've really picked up from Karen Rayburn, who happens to be one of the famous marketing authors, and she's specifically written this quote for marketers, accountants, basically, which I just quote: "Your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness. If, like most accountants, you are a perfectionist who likes to make sure everything is being done right, marketing is going to be hard for you, unquote. So it's a global truth, that you need to loosen up a bit, try and dwell with marketing, because you have to build your personality, and your personality should reflect your character. And gone are the days where, about a decade or so ago, marketing was happening with a very limited sort of ways. But as HMRC too focuses on MTD, they're making tax digital, and they're pushing the dates every now and then, every year. Similarly, there are marketing has gone leaps ahead in terms of overall approach. And people need to go more digital with marketing, and exploit and leverage the tools available. So this is what I feel. It's a mindset change, and perspective changes everything for you in your journey, right, Sean? So
Agree.
I'd like to bring to your attention, Sean. Like, we've identified a couple of types of accountants, right?
Yeah.
And then who better than you and I would know what category of accountants that we deal with day in, day out. So I'd like to hear a few points, and the types of accountants that you've come across in your experience. Please go ahead and throw some light there.
Thanks, Atul. I think you blocked me there, and please don't stop me if I keep talking and talking on this particular slide that you gave me, because it's a vast topic. But yes, two types of accountants, if I can talk about. We both being into this industry for almost 2 decades now, right? We get kind of a practice saying that I'm very happy with the practice. I don't need marketing, which is okay, which is fine, but just make sure few important business needs that requires that covers your business perspective as well, right? So first, let's cover on how relevant is your website. Now you must be thinking, I am happy with my current client base, so why does my website matter, right? So your website is the most crucial, and that you might not even realize it, because even if you rely on the referrals for the new customers, which is fantastic, but those referrals are likely to go on your website, check on you before they join you or speak to you, and reaching it to you. It is your virtual business card where your potential customers and colleagues go to gauge your competence and reliability. And again, in today's digital age, your website is your online storefront, right? Just imagine walking an outdated storefront, guys. Would you be inclined to step inside? Probably not. But similarly, a well-designed and informative website not only showcases your expertise and services, but also enhances the credibility, and the most important that you need is professionalism when you're around in the industry, right? The second check that you can always do on your profile is when you're on the social media platform. Is your profile, is your social media platform completely covered? In today's interconnected world, social media isn't just sharing the cat videos, right? as everyone should know about it, but it's a powerful tool for networking and building the professional brand, right? Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Twitter, whether it's even Instagram, having an active and engaging social presence can help you to connect with potential customers, showcase your expertise in the field. Sometimes we might think, why bother Instagram or LinkedIn when our work speaks about itself? Well, which is good. Your work is absolutely speaking about yourself, and you should be proud of it. However, that needs a platform to amplify your voice. I'm sure everyone would agree to this as well, right? But I must say, it is a powerful tool for building your credibility, which I mentioned before, and expanding your professional network, right? Third aspect that you can see, your clients have been recommending your services to your friends. I think if I ask this question, if I raise a poll, I think 100% would say, yes, we have getting a lot of referrals from our clients and the customers that we have gotten here, right? So here we get one poll, if you can just get onto it. Have you ever struggled with marketing and accounting practice? So I'll give you, say, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. Please go through this and submit your vote, please. So yes, 100% would say yes. My clients are getting me references here, and I'm getting good business from the references, which sounds like a music to your ears, right? Referrals are good testaments to your quality of services you provide and trust the clients that have built in you 100%. Now let's tie this back to the marketing strategies, right? Marketing isn't about replacing your referrals. We are not trying to replace the referrals through the marketing strategies. It's all about enhancing and complementing them together. Right, by incorporating marketing strategies into your business and the business plan that you make, you can actually maximize the impact of referrals and reach to the new audience. Right, now let's look at the second type of accountants that can come across. They say, look, Sean, we have an appetite of growing, but I wanted to grow my personal brand, but I'm with few reasons I'm not able to implement it, right? And that can happen. And the most important would come across, we do not have time for marketing, which is okay. It's completely understandable. And finding time for marketing can feel like a challenging, especially when you are juggling with so much of responsibilities in your practice. But here's the thing. Dedicating time to marketing isn't about adding another task to your to-do list, right? It's about investing in the future growth, success for your business. Think of this way: every hour you spend on marketing is an hour invested in attracting new customers or potential individuals that can come across for your business as well, building relationship, or ultimately that helps you to grow the particular business that you've been into. It is not about doing more. It is all about getting the right things, getting the needle moving forward. That is what we believe in. The second that comes across is I'm growing primarily through referrals, which we spoke about referrals. Yes, undoubtedly, they are valuable client portfolio that you built up. And I believe that, it's just one piece of puzzle in the complex world of marketing. Referrals are definitely a golden ticket opening doors to your new opportunities. But there's a catch, relying solely on referrals is like fishing into a small pond. You might catch a few prized fish, but we are limiting ourselves to the finite pool of prospects. Meanwhile, the vast ocean of opportunities still remains unexplored, right? The third that we can think of is not sure of trusting outsourcing professional. Now, I am not here to tell you that finding time for marketing will be easy for you guys. It definitely requires an effort and energy, perhaps a shift in priorities, but it's worthwhile considering for the long-term benefits it can bring to your practice. Either you can dedicate certain marketing tasks to your members or teams, or straight away outsource them to an external professionals who can actually take care of that. By leveraging your expertise, you can free up your time. But let's not forget the power of automation and technology. There are plenty of tools available streamlining your marketing processes, isn't it? From scheduling the social media posts to automizing the email campaigns. By harnessing the power of technology, you can maximize that. So I think it is one tool, or it is one way to look at it, what and how your practice needs to grow from your business perspective.
Sure. Now, thanks, Sean. That was insightful, and really powerful points brought up. Appreciate it. So I guess the question is, where do we begin? The fundamental question for the
That's right.
accountants. Where do I start? Well, the good news is, in some way or the other, you guys are already doing marketing, right? Because marketing starts right from the ideation stage. Well, you are witnessing marketing, consciously, subconsciously, unknowingly, you're doing marketing activities you don't even realize. How do you do that? Well, you attend, some networking groups. You attend exhibitions and expos, for example, just to meet like-minded professionals, just to meet your potential clients there. What is that? That is a form of marketing. They meet you, they talk to you, they see, what kind of an activity you're doing. Again, you get referrals from your clients. You're servicing your clients better. So what are these? These are marketings done in a very fragmented manner, which one doesn't realize consciously. For them, marketing is, it's altogether a different activity. Well, it's not. If in case you embrace and just make it a part of your day-to-day cycle, wherein you running your practice successfully need to review and monitor the activities that's happening across the practice from the day-to-day accounts admin perspective to parallelly looking at marketing and actually becoming the face of the business, rather than trying to be that Superman and wants to do everything by yourself. Well, you need to realize the power of collaboration, because that can take you places. Like-minded partnerships can take you places. So basically, you're doing everything. You just need to better organize yourselves. There are tons of marketing tools available. You don't need to know everything, but you need to start from one point, and start with the most common point where your target audience is. Start with that point. I guess that'll make sense, because one of the attendees, they actually asked what's the right approach, and it's really nice to see the interaction happening, wherein attendees are interacting and people are guiding each other. So which is nice, and this is what the main intention of this webinar is. It's informative. It's making our accountants and accounting community conscious and making them realize the power of marketing for themselves. So talking about marketing, I guess there could be no better person between three of us, Sean. We have Monil, who's been doing marketing for over 3.5 decades, and his experience actually stands beyond our age. Don't get us wrong, Monil, but
No,
he's
absolutely
changed.
not. Yeah.
You've seen the landscape change, Monil. From what marketing was decade on decade, rather than year on year. So would like to know your points as to what do you think could be a good digital presence, and what are those various good practices, if you can throw some lights there.
No, absolutely, Atul. Thank you so much. Right, I've seen marketing really shaping up or changing in the last 2 decades. Right, I'm a Generation Xer myself, but I've seen the millennials and the Generation Zs right now doing marketing subconsciously. Right, we've moved from a world of PR, traditional media, to digital media now. Right, the continuity is still there, but it's moved and it's diffused into our lives so very much that we do not realize we're doing marketing at any given point of time, right? And you cannot get away with it. Today, you need to be present on the digital channels, right? It's not a must have, but it's good to have and good to understand how the world is so close to you, right? So of course, I mean, I just keep this very short. It's a simple common sense approach. Get found on search engines. If you have running an accounting firm, go and register yourself with Google My Business, get found. That's the first place. And of course, the other search engines as well, whether it's Bing or any other search engine that's popular in your region, right? Have a good website, have a really world-class website with good content. That's the basics that you need to get it done. And of course, the biggest elephant in the room is the social media, right? You cannot ignore social media for your firm and for yourself to build your brand. Everyone is out there. That doesn't mean that you need to be a Taylor Swift tomorrow, right? But you need to be really add value when it comes to social media. And I could go on talking for hours and hours together on this, but the whole idea is social media is all about your audience. It's not about promoting self-promotions only. So for example, if you find a tax regulation or a development happening that affects child care or health care, right? You could put up a point of view there. And Sean will cover this in a minute. He's an expert in that, not me. But the whole idea that I'm trying to drive is create that value from a content perspective, add that value on social media. I don't need to post every day and every time, but you need to engage with people, contribute your stuff, contribute your point of views in a positive way. And that's where you will be standing out as a unique personality on social media, right? And of course, you'll also be seen as a thought leader, somebody who's really adding value to a particular topic or a particular area of interest, right? And if your clients really see that, you are indirectly building your brand in many ways. Moving ahead, right? So where do you need to go, right? I mean, really, I got a question earlier from someone in the group right now is, well, how do I start and how do I grow with? Well, here's the thing, right? A lot of people use a lot of social media. You fire up your phones, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn. Where do you go? An easy way out, or rather an easier way to understand where the audience is, to do some service and talk to your clients, right? If your clients are on Facebook, be there. If your clients love videos and they love seeing YouTube, be there, promote it to your clients that I'm here. Hey, look, you know what? My next video is coming up. That really works. Of course, you need to be there where your really clients are. And most of it is automated. So if you post a video, that video can go on Instagram and Facebook as well. You don't need to manually do it. There's a lot of technology available so that you can save time multiplying your efforts in different channels. But be ensured that you are present where your clients are, where your potential clients are, and that's the most important part. If you have any questions, I'm available later after the call. But Sean, coming back to your topic and identifying specific topics, right? I'm sure you have a lot of experience in that. But if you can just spend a couple of minutes here and let us know, right? How do you add value when it comes to content on social media?
Right. Thanks, Monal. I think we're running out of time, but yes, I will cover up quickly out here as well. Look, everyone know about it, right? Often having an attraction and attention is very important when it comes to the marketing strategies, right? Now, we do a lot of marketing activities. I've seen people doing it and posting it on the different channels. But most important to take care of is, whenever you share any kind of achievements, first thing, share it regularly, which is a good practice. Second, when you share it, have a detailed, informative content that you share it on the, no matter it's a LinkedIn, it's a Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. But make sure that you share it, your achievements in a detailed format, have it in accuracy. This is definitely going to help you as a marketing technique to humanize your brand first. It will also help you to show your authenticity and help you to create opportunities to have meaningful conversation interactions with your new audience that comes across to you. Strategically, this can lead to a positive outcome to your business strategy and with the social media platform. So I think we will have a short poll from here. That's coming up on your screen. Which aspect of building your personal brand do you find most challenging? Is it crafting and compelling brand story, identifying and reaching my target audience, creating engaging marketing content, or others? I'll give you 3 seconds from here. I can see yes, good responses. So I think over to you, Monil. I think we got a fantastic session out here. So thank you very much for having me on this panel.
No, absolutely. And quickly, right, there are these do's and don'ts of social media and marketing in general. We are all aware of it, right? But we somehow, kind of ignore it or be stay away from it, right? Some of them are very obvious. I should not take more much time here. Be regular, have good relationships online and offline to build your network, right? Be positive, right? Post the right content on the right network. You don't want to post videos on Facebook and post text media on LinkedIn, right? Doesn't work that way. And of course, you will have your own point of views, but respect the other people's point of view as well. And that's the mantra to building good relationships, good network. And of course, the most important part, post regularly and consistently. That does not mean you post every day, but you post regularly so that you do not disappear for weeks together and expect people to follow you. Right. And of course, there are these don'ts of, life is too short, avoid trolls and avoid arguments. If you have a political view, keep it to yourself. You want to build a brand, not take a spectrum of political views here. And of course, be careful about what you're posting on social media when it comes to copyrights, when it comes to certain privacy and pornographic material. Right? You need to be really careful in posting such stuff about it. So wrapping it up, right? I could go and talk about it, and Atul and Sean can also talk about it continuously for another hour or so. But I think in the interest of time, it's simple. Be found online and be found offline, right? You want to build offline connects as well. You don't want to build online connects and not meet them offline, right? Develop your strong referrals. And as Atul rightly pointed out, we're already doing that in many ways. Build your social media presence. It takes time. Rome was not built in a day. It certainly takes time. It takes years to build your social media presence, and ensure that you do the right stuff, because one wrong post could land you in illegal trouble, right? So be careful about that. And of course, provide free and valuable content resource. The content could be anything in accounting or related stuff, but that adds value to a client. Be a little creative. Don't do a mind map about it. And Atul and Sean, before we really wrap up and before we kind of have that surprise element, right? Would want your maybe a minute or two here in terms of how do you kind of have accountants start marketing or doing marketing?
Right. Thanks, Monil, for some powerful messages that came out from Sean and Monil. So thank you so much for that. And one example that I would like to give, considering time is running out, so we'll keep it quick. So I just wanted to give an example. I mean, there are several examples, but I want to give a specific example that I have one of my business friend who is a Manchester-based practice. And she is running a sole practice basically. And now a team of 4 members in with her. Well, interestingly, she was there on LinkedIn. Monil, that's for the point when you stated, right? You have
Right.
to make your choices correctly, which social media suits you best. So she was there on LinkedIn, but apart from being an accountant, she's also a pianist. And
Wow.
that's a part of our hobby, right? So she just started posting, a TikTok video playing pianos. An interesting idea that came up to her, and it's free. That she started posting HMRC updates and the updates of her practice, which Sean bought in, regular updates about your practice. So she started, playing piano and started having, that 40 seconds, 50 seconds video with those updates coming in, and that attracted a lot of views. And as a result, she started, building the client base because she started having a lot of meaningful conversations with the TikTok followers, and a few of them having running businesses. They started becoming the clients of that particular practice, and TikTok added to a substantial portion of her revenue stream. So somebody that was asking what is the right source, choosing the right platform. So I never thought TikTok can bring so much of business and traction in accounting per se, but it clearly did in her case, right? So I just wanted to bring the attention there. So wrapping up, conclusive statements, folks, here would be, look, we need to understand the power of collaboration. Superman is good, Superwoman is good, but you need to make sure that we have limited time, limited bandwidth, limited capacity, and how wisely are we utilizing that time, right? Are we doing all the task which is not required to be done by ourselves, or do we have a sufficiently staff team in house? That's the major problem that everybody faces, right? That's why there are super specialist organizations that can help you with a couple of things, which I'll just tell you. But we'll have a poll which is very relevant to the context. So in front of your screen, well, do you outsource any of the following activities? Marketing, your day-to-day activity, or both, or none? We'll just take 5 quick seconds, and if we can have a quick responses, we'll be good. Lovely. So, so the point is, look, you have to engage, embrace technology, leverage the technological use, and also realize the power of collaboration. When I say power of collaboration, that doesn't necessarily means doing everything in-house, or doesn't necessarily means doing, outsourcing. Outsourcing is a very wide concept. What I believe in, you need to find right partner company for yourself, right? Because when you talk about partnership, it changes the entire dynamics of doing work, whether it's marketing activity, whether it's your day-to-day accounts administration tasks, ranging from bookkeeping, tax accounting, audit support, or administration service. So when you do offload those elements to somebody who is your partner with a plug-and-play solution, you get time to focus and actually becoming the face of the business. Do consulting, monitor everything, and review everything, and yet have time to grow and build your practice brand personality, in the digital space. So without taking much of time, I'd like to thank each one of you for having me and for turning out. We'll have interesting topics periodically from now on in the form of webinars. So that's it from my end, guys. Sean, I would like to invite you to have your conclusive statements, and we can wrap this beautiful session up quick.
Oh, fantastic, Atul. Thank you very much for that. So I think marketing can set yourself apart from the competition, guys, as we all know, right? And in today's digital world, today's digital age, that's something that we can't afford to overlook, right? So ultimately, my conclusive statement out here is the most important thing is to take action, right? Start experimenting with different marketing strategies. See what works, what doesn't work for you, but don't be afraid to adapt as you go. From optimizing your website for the search engines to engaging your audience from the social media, there are numerous avenues to explore. And remember, there are plenty of resources, supports available, as Atul rightly mentioned. You can figure out which one you wanted to outsource, which one you wanted to keep it in house. I think that is something that you can always think of. I have an amazing client working with me from about 4 or 5 years now, and he is completely on the social media marketing. And the first time when I met, I asked him, how can you manage social media marketing, being a chartered accountant? And his answer was very simple. I love doing and I love being engaging with people, so I keep marketing with my site and I outsource the entire back end operations to the professionals. I think that's one way to look at it as well. So ultimately, the most important thing out here that comes across, there are a lot of resources available to support you along the way, whether it's an online AI tutorials or networking groups, or straight away hiring a third-party marketing content and an agency. So all the best. I'm sure whatever you guys are doing, you're doing best, but keep analyzing, keep reviewing. And as I said before, patience and persistence is the most important key for us. So thank you very much, Atul. Thank you very much, Monil, for having me here.
Yeah, thanks, Atul. Thanks, Sean. I know we had to rush through because of the timings. We could go on, and we might spend discussing marketing on a couple of beers, right? But time is of essence here. Quickly, right? So if you have any questions, otherwise, would appreciate if you can take out your phone and scan the QR code here, or type in the link in your phone and get the survey done. We'll keep this open for a minute or two. If there are any questions, please share it in the questions window. Happy to take them, Atul and Sean.
Sure.
Okay. There's a question from Amy. Amy, I think I've already answered that about how do you do content on social media. But Sean, Atul, do you want to cover that in detail? What kind of content do you put on social media?
Well, as we've covered, right? So your regular updates, depending on where your client base is. Are you a farmer specialized accounting practice? Are you a media specialized accounting practice, or you're a generalized practice, right? So depending on what area you're targeting, or what is your specialization, have updates with regards to HMRC. Have a regular post. Create a sensible topic, and let the conversation strike in. Right, a lot of our accountant friends, they're doing it. So it's I guess it's a very thoughtful mix about updates and coming up with interesting conversations and having a poll. That way, you're always exposed, to your target market. Because companies and professionals and the CEO, CXO people, they are watching you. And that changed their perception towards you as a practice, and that helps in connecting better and giving you that business boost.
Great, Atul. Really, really helpful. I don't see any other immediate questions as such. I think we're good. Thank you so much again, folks, for attending this webinar on a Friday evening. I really appreciate your time here, and we'll be sharing the presentation in a week's time with all of you by Friday, 8th of March. And if there are any questions, feel free to reach out to the email ID mentioned, or any one of us here. Thank you so much again. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Monil. Thanks, Sean. Bye-bye.
Happy weekend, guys. Thank you. Cheers.
Happy weekend. Bye.